Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a really smart and really surprising performance of Mahler's Seventh. Here, let's do it this way so you can see what it is. It features the Orchestre National de Lille Région Hauts-de-France, as opposed to the Région Bas-de-France or the Région Outre-Temps-de-France, or the Région Éclair-sur-l'Au-delà de France. I mean, where do these names come from? They're all political. Ugh. Anyway, conducted by Alexandre Bloch, who's quite good as a Mahlerian. I mean, they're all really good as a Mahlerian. I would never think that the Lille Orchestra could really rip into Mahler 7, but they do. It's just another indication of how splendid today's orchestras are, even the ones that aren't the big name groups. On any given day, they can just play the daylights out of anything. And this is a fascinatingly intelligent interpretation of the Seventh. And I said it was a smart release, and I'll tell you why. Well, first of all, recordings of Mahler's Seventh are not exactly thick on the field as a singleton work. It's not the most popular Mahler symphony. It's a very difficult Mahler symphony. It's extremely virtuosic and hard to play. But it was a wonderful choice, first of all, because of its rarity. Second of all, because the Seventh, as the least popular Mahler symphony, offers a lot of interpretive possibilities. It really does. It's a crazy, eccentric piece of music. And so you can do a lot of interesting things with it. There's stuff with tempo and texture and balance and all the stuff that goes into it. This performance takes 74 minutes, and Bloch is really having a good time. It's a completely original interpretation in terms of tempo, but it always works. It's first of all based in what Mahler says he wants most of the time, and second of all, the interpretive choices make a lot of sense. I mean, I had questions about some of the tempi, which were quite quick. The second Nachtmusik, for example, is very, very fast, which is, frankly, the way a lot of people do it. I mean, Boulez did it that way. But whereas Boulez tends to sound rather mechanical and fast, this is wonderful because of the rubato. There's tremendous flexibility. Bloch is never afraid to milk a phrase, to slow down, to highlight a jet of instrumental color, a beautiful moment of texture, and there are so many. There are just so many in this symphony. It's incredible. The first movement is extremely cogent, wonderfully put together, and there's no stinting on like the nasty harmony or some of the sleaze that the music has in it. In the first Nachtmusik, for example, the basic tempo for the march is a swift one, but Bloch has the sense to sort of slow down a little and really milk that slimy tango in the middle, and it's going dum ba dum bum bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Ya-da, da-dum, ba-da, da-dum, ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh, it's wonderful, the pair of oboes and then the two solo cellos. And one of the things about French orchestras, and I have to say this, it's absolutely true, is that they're not inhibited in the way that German orchestras are. They may be sloppy. They may not get along too well with themselves or each other and the conductor and who knows. But, they have attitude, but you can turn that attitude to good measure because they're not afraid of the crazy sounds and colors that Mahler makes. German orchestras spend too much time playing boring symphonies with no percussion and extra woodwinds. And so when they get a symphony like this one, that's just full of gaudy and strange sonorities, they just go, oh, no. And they don't commit. But French orchestras have no problem with it. They play theatrical music. They play Daphnis and Chloe. They play things that always end with a bacchanal, with castanets clacking away. I mean, they don't have any problems with that stuff. And they don't hear. I mean, the cowbells, the chimes in the finale, the raucous conclusion, it's all just there. It's really exciting and completely shameless. And that's what you really want in a great Mahler performance. You want shamelessity. You want total, uninhibited, let it all hang out, go crazy. And they do in this performance. I was just really, really impressed. It doesn't sound like anybody else. It's just loaded with positive personality and a sort of elemental musical force that just shows that everyone's having a great time. I mean, the trumpets doing the refrain in the finale, where you have someone like, the Philharmonia with Sinopoli, they're cracking all over the place and blowing it, even on the recording. Not here. They just nail it. They nail it. The performance has cojones. That's what it has. I mean, the scherzo, the sleazy, shadowy scherzo, it begins with downward portamenti for the clarinet. Dun, da, 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 the clarinets go like this. Most people sort of don't do it. Even Bernstein's a little careful with how he lets the woodwinds screech. They screech. They screech in a way that you haven't heard a screech since Michael Gillen let him screech. Michael Gillen was always good for a screech. He was a screech kind of guy. No question about it. So I really recommend this to anybody who loves Mahler's Seventh and is curious about, the variety of interpretive options that it offers. This is a very satisfying, very complete, unified conception of the piece that sounds like no other. And I think it's just marvelous. It's on Alpha. And congratulations to the Lille people and to Alexandre Bloch for really putting it together and doing something wonderful and new and special in very oft recorded repertoire. I mean, that takes a lot. It really does. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.